This is the third SpongeBob film. What a time to be alive. Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to yet another brand new movie review, and as always, I thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy your stay. But this time around, we are looking at the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, the third SpongeBob film. And as I'm sure most of you are aware, this was supposed to hit theaters last summer, but obviously with everything going on right now, that didn't turn out to be the case. So it switched around to an exclusive premiere on the new Paramount Plus service here in the United States, which I'm not gonna go off on a whole tangent on the whole service here, but just to keep it short, Paramount Plus is not a bad service whatsoever. And it of course stars all of the original cast returning to voice their iconic roles once again, as well as Keanu Reeves as a tumbleweed. Hello? When SpongeBob's beloved pet snail Gary goes missing, a path of clues leads SpongeBob and Patrick to the powerful King Poseidon, and he's got Gary captive in the lost city of Atlantic City. And on their mission to save Gary, SpongeBob and the entire gang team up for a heroic and hilarious journey where they discover that nothing is stronger than the power of friendship. And as I've mentioned already, this is the third SpongeBob film after the original one came out back in 2004, as well as its sequel that came out in 2015, both of which were enjoyably fun movies, and this is the first full SpongeBob product to be fully manufactured with 3D CGI. And even though the film absolutely looks different and polished out of the 2D style, it still manages to retain the essence and the spirit of what SpongeBob looks like. You still get the fun voice of the narrator, you still get the bubble screen cross dissolves, and I actually think this animation is really beautiful and really fun to look at. Bikini Bottom, I don't think has looked this colorful in a long time. The characters still look like they did, the colors are still as vibrant as ever, the Krusty Krab is still insanely busy. I still definitely think Sponge on the Run looks and feels just like the cartoons we all grew up loving, and honestly, I think this movie would have made Steven Hillenburg proud. And as someone who grew up with SpongeBob, as someone who holds a lot of inside jokes with a lot of his friends that pertains to SpongeBob, this movie put a gigantic smile on my face. I mean, this material itself is just so memorably quotable and wacky. There's always something just so endearing about Bikini Bottom. I mean, so much so that it keeps making me as a 24-year-old man wanting to go revisit it over and over again. And this film really brought me back to my childhood. SpongeBob was one of those programs that my little brother and I would watch religiously every day before school. And that brings me into what could be an issue with this film, because a single SpongeBob episode, for those of you hardcore fans out there, you all know this, they're only 12 minutes long. And those 12 minutes are all filled to the brim with the quickest and zippiest humor that these creators could come up with. And by comparison, this film is 91 minutes, which for those of you doing the math almost equates to 6 SpongeBob episodes. And there were times where I was watching Sponge on the Run where I definitely felt that runtime getting stretched out. And I'll get to the biggest culprit of that in just a minute, but I would like to talk a little bit about some of the good here, because there is still a lot to like here. The voice cast is once again stellar. Everybody is back. Tom Kenny as SpongeBob and Gary, Bill Fagerbakke as Patrick Star, Rodger Bumpass as Squidward, the list goes on and on. Everybody's still got it. But we also get a lot of new cast members thrown in there, such as Awkwafina voicing this robot Otto who has a strange affinity for firing everybody. The one and only Snoop Dogg appears in this for a little dance number, which, fun fact, you may be able to spot my older cousin in. Shout out to you, Ryan. And of course, you also have Keanu Reeves as Sage the Tumbleweed. Need I say more? He, honestly thinking about it, might have been the... Keanu Reeves was so funny, and I was so happy to see that he wasn't just like David Hasselhoff in the first one, who was just in and out for a quick cameo. Keanu Reeves is in this for a good portion, and while he's still really funny, and it's still really creepy to see just Keanu's head poking through this tumbleweed, when you listen to what he's saying, he's actually giving you some valuable life lessons. I can't believe I'm saying that, but those are just some of the examples I can give you as to how fun this movie is. But you remember how I said this runtime can feel really stretched out? That leads me into my biggest issue with Sponge on the Run, and it's honestly something that I wasn't fully aware of going into it. And I'm gonna try and be as vague as I possibly can without spoiling anything. But trust me, you'll know what I'm talking about once you see it. there are portions in the movie where it tends to go off on these really, really long tangents. And it doesn't really pertain much to the main story that they're trying to tell. And they do this in the form of flashbacks. Extensive, really long, cutaway flashbacks. I mean, I know what they're doing. This is all just set up to that prequel show that they're putting out on Paramount Plus. I think it's called Camp Coral or something like that. And I was just sitting there like, yeah, okay, I get why this is here, but why do we need really long cutaways in the movie? It's almost like if you're watching an episode of Family Guy and it just goes through the opening couple minutes and then it just goes to one of those weird cutaways that they do, and that's what it is for the rest of the episode. Once it gave me a lot of those cutaways, I hate to say, I kind of lost investment in a lot of it. And there was a part of me that honestly forgot where the main story was even going. But yeah, that is a really big, annoying issue. If you can't get past that, I completely understand. As far as I'm concerned, though, I still had a lot of fun with Sponge on the Run, which is a rhyme that I absolutely did not intend to make. I'm gonna give Sponge on the Run a B-. And overall, I would say that the movie, while definitely not perfect, is a completely harmless way to spend an hour and a half with your families and your kids. I think big fans of SpongeBob, current and old, will have a lot of fun with this. This is just one guy's opinion, though. What did you guys think of Sponge on the Run? Do you agree with me? Do you not? What is your guys' favorite SpongeBob episode? I would love to discuss all of these thoughts and then some all down there in the comments. Because I love what I do here. I love discussing cinema and all things entertainment with you beautiful viewers out there. And if these topics sound appealing to you, if you guys are enjoying my content up to this point, please definitely consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can, especially if you're new or if you haven't already, because it's completely free. It won't cost you anything to do so, and you guys will be the first ones to know anytime a new upload hits the channel. If you guys liked the review, also please be sure to leave a big ol' thumbs up on your way out. That would really, really be helpful as well. And as always, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very, very soon. You guys are the best. With all that being said, back talk, commence!